Okay, so here's the third installment of my flight simulator series. I want to show you what I've done so far. It's quite a major upgrade since the last one. Pretty much all the same parts, but obviously reconfigured differently. So this is just looking from inside my room. I built a floor for the simulator so I can get cables and stuff underneath it, and it also puts the rudder pedals at a more level surface for my feet instead of having like a box sitting on the floor. I've also made it's all sitting on a corner type desk. I don't know if you can quite see the corner type desk. We'll come over to the far side. It's kind of messy back here, but you can see it's kind of a corner desk there, and it basically makes a nice little cockpit. So on the corner desk, I've put on these keyboard type things using ABS pipe for plumbing, and what they do is they swivel. This is for the top computer, this keyboard, and then this keyboard below here is for the Simavio computer. And what I've done is I've actually put a piece of ABS pipe up and down on the desk and then made arms so they all swivel and out. So what I can do when I'm flying is I just slip this in like that, and the bottom one goes in nice and easy, and when I need to get something I can just pull them out nicely and use them when required. I also have my headset that I've got my cables running underneath the floor back over to my GoFlight ATC. They come underneath here, they come up through the floor, and then over to my amplifier, up to the headset, which I use mainly now for Pilot Edge. Next to that I have my iPad, which is now running SkyCharts Pro. You can probably see the small plane in the middle. I'm flying right now from John Wayne to Santa Barbara. That's one of many applications I use. It's probably one of my favorites. I'm going to go up top now. These are the same three monitors I've always had. It's the 24-inch Samsungs, all hooked with the Matrox triple head to go digital. And the view I have is set just using the quick look. So all I have is really my dash showing on the monitor. What I've done for the monitors to hold them up, I took all the stands off. So you can see there's no stands, it's just sitting on wood here right now. I'm going to go over to this one. What I did is I cut, because I'm Canadian, I cut a couple of hockey pucks, a whole bunch of hockey pucks in half. So I've got half the hockey puck there. If you look at the back, you can see another half a hockey puck over here. Underneath, actually it's just underneath the power control there. It's a little hard to see. But there's the two hockey pucks there on this one, two hockey pucks on this one, and then there's two hockey pucks on that one. That's the little frog my wife gave me for safe flying, my little good luck charm. He sits there all the time. Down below that, I have the Simavio monitor. And it is around, right now I'm flying the Beech, stock Beech aircraft, Baron 58 from X-Plane. And I have it set, all the gauges and stuff set up the way I like. Not quite exactly what it would be in the real airplane, but it's got everything I require. So as you can see, I've got two GPSs which work off of the PFC head here, so I can turn these dials and it'll work those two GPSs. And of course they've got all the standard transponder, altimeter, autopilot, all that stuff that all works in conjunction with X-Plane, with Simavio. I like it because it feels like a instrument panel and not just within X-Plane itself. So over behind, or below the iPad, I've got two things. I've got the dimmer that handles the instrumentation light, and this is the volume, the white one is the volume control for the X-Plane sound. It's obviously turned down now so I can do the video. Let me just reach in here and I'll try to show you the dimmer. The lights are right here, all along the whole upper dash. And when I turn the dimmer, I'll just do this side here. I can turn them right off, or I can adjust them accordingly. These are LED lights, just on a little adhesive back strip that I picked up here in town. There we go. And of course, below my instrumentation panel, I've got some fake fuse buttons, breakers, that I just use when I'm doing my checklists when flying. And below this is the single engine control. What I was trying to do is I'm trying to make a Cessna setup here, so that's why it's single engine. They do make a multi-engine one. And below I've already talked about the ATC, where I can adjust the volume and whatnot for the squelch for the headset. Here's one of my nicest things I have, is the PFC yoke. It's a Cirrus yoke. I got all the buttons set up for views and stuff for X-Plane. Here's the GoFlight throttle controls. I'd like to upgrade that because they're kind of plasticky looking. I saw some real nice ones on PFC, and I'll see if I can make that work here. Still looking into that. Here's the landing gear and the trim flaps that I use. I've added this button. This actually turns off the whole instrument lighting, the one with the dimmer switch. I just find it easier to know is using the dimmer switch. And then on this side, which I'm calling my radio stack side, I've got the two. I got the upper one I use for COM 1. This is COM 2. This is nav 1. This is the altimeter. This also does altimeter, transponder. I can change it to nav 2 and tune into the frequencies there. So it's kind of a multifunctional unit. Here's the PFC 430 that, as I said, works in conjunction with those. And here's where I have a clipboard where I do all my flight plans. You can see this one here is done a while ago, but you can see my chicken scratch on there. I'm trying to keep everything straight. We're talking to ATC. Next to it is the what I call the mousepad table. Two mouse pads, one to work the SimAvio computer and one to work the X-Plane computer. Here is the autopilot that I use, and just some knobs that I've got set up for varying functions. You can see them there. I've got the altimeter, the OBS. I hit those buttons, the transponder will show up down here. Right now I've got it set to altimeter, that's why you're seeing that. And then this is just some sim buttons that it'll turn off the sim, put the sunglasses on, put it to night vision, that kind of thing. And this buttons here are for de-icing and pitot heat and all that stuff too. Or is that one on this one here? It might be on this one. No, this is all the pitot heat and parking brakes and all fun stuff. And I just wanted to have actual tactile buttons to be pushing. Alright, now below all this, I don't know if anybody will see this because it might be a little dark, a little wide here. Below all this, right there, that little thing there, is my butt kicker. My butt kicker attaches to my seat, to my pilot seat here. I'll show you that in a second. There it is right here, attached to the seat. I put a piece of pipe on there, as you can see, a piece of pipe. Attached the butt kicker to the seat. Now the butt kicker works with X-Plane for the sound. It makes the seat vibrate when landing or taking off, and vibrating even when it's just flying. I have it turned off right now because of the video, because it kind of rattles, but it is a very neat function. It puts a lot more realism, I think, into into the sim itself. And then behind all this fun stuff here is where the heart beats. It's the two computers, the taller computer being X-Plane, the smaller computer, the Acer here, is the one for SimAvio. And if you take a look at the back, I'm going to try to show you the back here a little bit. It's just a rat's nest, but you know what? It's very functional and works like a charm. I got all my plugins and speakers and stuff, so you don't really see those anywhere. I got speakers below also for both computers because each program has sound, SimAvio and X-Plane. And I think, oh, here we are here. Also, another thing I did, because the monitor for SimAvio is in behind all this wood, which was all, by the way, done with a CNC machine to cut all these holes up for all this stuff. I gave all the measurements and dimensions off of AutoCAD to one of my friends, and he cut it all out for me. So I had all that figured out. I went and actually measured a Cessna for the size of the hole down here underneath the yoke. You see it's a bit more of a cutout there. Anyway, this little box here actually turns on and off the monitor. So if I just reach in here, I can turn the monitor off and on, so I don't have to reach in the back to do it. That was a little bit of the thinking to do on that one, but it works kind of good. Alright, I think that's all. Here we are here. Sorry, I forgot about the rudder pedals. You can see the subwoofer from X-Plane behind it. Here's my PFC's rudder pedals. Work like a charm. I'll tell you, this PFC stuff is the best. Very expensive, but high quality. Very high quality. Anyway, I think that's about it. You can see here I'm flying, getting closer and closer to Santa Barbara, so I'm going to let you go, and hope you enjoyed the video. And I will have more when I upgrade a bit more. Have a good day. Bye-bye.